Hey, John here. Here's Liquor Today number 44. This is a G Dorian shred run, and as usual you can find a link to the tab in the description below or just by clicking on the screen. I'm going to play it once slowly and then break the whole thing down. We started on the 13th fret of the low E string. As we all know, Dorian is like a normal minor scale, but we take the 6th scale degree, which is in a natural minor scale will be a flat 6th, and then we put that back to one half step higher, so it's the same as 6 from a major scale. So it gets a slightly brighter sound while still retaining that minor quality. If you check the scale diagrams as well, you can see the intervals that it contains, and it's a really good idea to look at those actually. So if you take the PDF version, if you don't have the Guitar Pro, and just zoom in, and you can see on the fretboard I've actually taken the time to put in all the actual intervals. So that should be helpful if you're not already very used to it. And that's also very helpful when it comes to the superimposed arpeggios we're going to get into later in this lick, where we play an A minor 7 arpeggio over the G tonality, which then gives us slightly different intervals. But we start here with a 6-note scale sequence that's going to repeat on each string set. So once you learn the actual sequence, it should be fairly easy to just put it into the actual scale. So starting on the 13th fret of the low E string, we'll play 2 notes. So 13, 15, and we go straight to the A string. And on the A string, we're going to play 4 notes. So that would be 13, 17, 15, 13. So again. Then we shift down on the same string to the next scale degree. So we're on the flat 3. We go down to the A here, the 2nd. And then we repeat that following the scale fingering. So. And then we move down a scale note again. And we move down again. And then we move down one more time. And then we end up on 13th fret of the high E string. And that's where we're going to start with the arpeggios. So again from the beginning. Alright, after that we start here on 13th fret like I said, and then we're going to go down this shape. 13, 10 on the high E string, 11 on the B string, 10 on the G string, 12 on the D string, and then we have the same frets on the A string as we had on the high E string. So 13, 10. So again, the way that I picked this is a downstroke, pull off, up, 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 down, hammer, down, 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 up, pull off. And that's basically it for the G minor 7 arpeggio here. So basically we just start on the top note, go down to the bottom note, up again, and then repeat the top notes again. So, or the top 2 notes on the string. And then we just move up to the A minor 7 here, which will be exactly the same fingering in this case. So if you know this one, just move it up a whole step and then go down like that. And then we end with a slide back to the root, and then I play the octave, and then I play the octave again by tapping 12 frets above where I'm fretting here. So again. And if we combine that with the picking run again. Practice-wise for this one, the initial picking sequence is not that easy to loop, unfortunately, but you can still work on it fairly easily. It's just 2 notes, and then 4 notes, then you move down to the next one. So instead, get comfortable with each shift. So you go, and then the next one. And then when you start combining those two, it's a good idea to move them down, up and down the fretboard chromatically. So if I go down to this fret, whoops. I don't know if you caught that, but I actually played the flat 6 of this key, which, if you heard, it didn't really stick out that much because obviously it's still it's just another minor scale. And my point of even keeping this in without editing this out is to move on to the other thing you can do, which is just sequences through any of the 3-note per string scales that you know. Just take the normal C major scale, for example. Let's start here on F. And you can do that from each scale step. Another thing you can try doing is, instead of going down, go up a scale note instead. So you go, and maybe go down the next one, up the next one. So there's a bunch of different variations you can try here. But that should get you used to the actual pick and run eventually. But as with anything, just let it take time and don't force the speed. For the sweep picking thing, very easy to practice since we have the two of the same shapes, just a whole step apart. So you can basically just loop that. So you go. Another very important thing to work on is the actual transition from the picked line to the sweep line or swept line. So you go. And if you get all those 3 together, you should be able to play the whole thing without any problems. And don't neglect just playing the whole line and then moving that up and down the fretboard as much as it allows, meaning that you're going to run out of frets here and here eventually. But it's a really good idea to do that just to get used to the whole lick while, you know, still not just playing the same frets over and over again. Because believe it or not, we play mostly with our brains, and the more clear your brain is about the actual pattern you're playing, the easier it's going to be for you to speed it up eventually. All right, that's it for this one. If you've stuck around this long and you like what I do, please like and subscribe because that really helps the channel. Other than that, if you have any questions, just post them below. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed this one and see you in the next one.